afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this beautiful room in the Bell Inn in Ticehurst for our marriage ceremony today. On behalf of you all, would like to welcome our beautiful couple, Caroline and Matthew. Would you all please take your seats? We are all here today to witness the joining of Matthew Sharp with Caroline Mary Jennings. But before I can proceed with the ceremony, I have to ask if any person here present knows of a lawful reason why I should not continue. They should declare it now. Laughter is good. Matthew and Caroline have thought carefully about their ceremony, and they've asked people to contribute in certain ways. And so I'd like to invite, first of all, Deborah, the mother of the bride, to share a reading for us.
Love only endures when it moves like waves, receding and returning gently or passionately, or moving lovingly like the tide, in the moon's own predictable harmony. Because finally, despite a child's scars or an adult's deepest wounds, they are openly free to be who they really are, and always secretly were, in the very core of their being, where true and lasting love can alone abide.
We wish you both every happiness in this new commitment. Are you ready to make your vows? I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Any lawful impediment.
Why I, Matthew Sharp.
Why I, Matthew Sharp.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Caroline Mary Jennings.
To Caroline Mary Jennings.
Caroline. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Caroline Mary Jennings.
Why I, Caroline Mary Jennings.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Matthew Sharp.
To Matthew Sharp.
Well done. And that's the first declaration made. I call upon these persons.
Call upon these persons.
Here present to witness.
Here present to witness.
That I, Matthew Sharp.
That I, Matthew Sharp.
Do take thee, Caroline Mary Jennings.
Do take thee, Caroline Mary Jennings.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
And Caroline? I call upon these persons here present.
I call upon these persons here present.
To witness that I, Caroline Mary Jennings.
To witness that I, Caroline Mary Jennings.
Do take thee, Matthew Sharp.
Do take thee, Matthew Sharp.
To be my lawful wedded husband.
To be my lawful wedded husband.
Hey guys.
Hi.
So if you place the ring on the third finger of her left hand. All the way on. Halfway. If you say to her, Caroline, with this ring.
Caroline, with this ring.
I promise to love and protect you.
I promise to love and protect you.
I will celebrate with you in times of happiness.
I will celebrate with you in times of happiness.
And stand by you in times of struggle.
And stand by you in times of struggle.
I promise to try to make you laugh.
I promise to try to make you laugh.
And to challenge you every day.
And to challenge you every day.
The plants are green. I promise to keep you safe.
I promise to keep you safe.
And will support you.
And will support you.
Always.
Always.
And now, Andrew, if you present the ring to Caroline that she's going to give to Matthew. On the third finger of his left hand. Matthew, with this ring.
Matthew, with this ring.
I promise to be passionate.
I promise to be passionate.
passionate in my support of you,
passionate in my support of you,
passionate when we disagree,
passionate when we disagree,
and passionate in my love for you.
and passionate in my love for you.
I promise to be silly
I promise to be silly
and make you laugh,
and make you laugh,
and to spend my life
and to spend my life
trying to be as good for you
trying to be as good for you
as you are for me.
as you are for me.
And so you have both made those declarations as is required by the law. You have given and received a ring on which you have spoken your own vows of commitment to one another. It therefore is a great privilege for me to say you are lawfully husband and wife.
But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one that's with you, and all these memories lose their meaning. When I think of love as something new, though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them, but in my life I love you more.
We're nearly at the end of the ceremony. I'd just like to hand over now to Emma Reynolds, the marriage registrar.
Well, I'm now about to present you with your marriage certificate, but I would just like to tell you traditionally the marriage certificate is the property of the bride. So Caroline, here we go. Congratulations to you both. And to you, thank you. Well done.
And now I'd like to invite Jessica, the maid of honour, to come and read for us.
Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the couple who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down a not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's open there, in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsie as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kids, you'll move mountains. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get away.
We wish you both, all three of you, you two and your marriage, every happiness together, and genuinely hope that whenever things go, you can look back and say, I was there on Sunday, the 25th of May in 2014, when I saw the creation of the new union. Please stand, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Mr. and Mrs. Sharp.
that side of the stage. Lovely. Okay, guys, that's beautiful. Eagles. Lovely. All right, my crew. So we're going to take this. Really nice, guys. Don't look at the camera. Look anywhere but the camera. Look at someone else. Just don't look at the camera. Hi, guys. Don't look at the camera. Thank you, my friends. That's perfect. You're doing so much better if you're not looking at it facing you. So turn fully round, and then stick one hip right out. That's it, and then your hand on the other hip. That's it, perfect. But I was going to say, pretty much know you mostly correct. Yeah. Lovely. Have we got Nick? I can see your attention waning. Okay, that's pretty impressive. I'm going off.
She sent me to find sunglasses.
Yeah, I've got them now, but I don't want to find her.
Don't look at the camera. Look anywhere but the camera. Look at someone else. Just don't look at the camera. Hi, guys. Don't look at the camera.
Over there. Naughty table, naughtiest corner. Now, I want to say a few words about my husband. But before I start on you, Andy, our best man. Thank you for remembering the rings. Thank you for remembering the ties. And thank you for getting Matt here in the right time. That was a bit of an issue. The year before I met Matthew was, I didn't sleep very well. But the first night we spent together, cramped in a tiny single bed in a hostel in the middle of downtown Beijing, was the best night's sleep of my life. So I want to thank Matt's mum and dad, Sue, Peter. Thank you for raising the kindest, most wonderful man. Truly, he's a credit to you. And if we're lucky enough to have boys, if their heart is decent and wonderful, then we'll be very lucky. And my last thanks go to my fabulous parents, Christopher. He's doing the speech this morning. And Deborah did a wonderful reading earlier. For all their support and encouragement in every aspect of my life, I thank them. And I will forever be grateful that they have raised me both separately and together to believe in love and marriage, no matter what. You can only live for the present, and in this present I am the happiest I've ever been. Please join me in raising a glass. Any glass will do. Champagne's for the proper speeches, they didn't give me that. To the reason that we're here, to the thing which in all of its forms makes life worth living. Ladies and gentlemen, to love.
She always had style. Now, when she was that size, it was style and pink. When she was this size, it was style and pink. And I'll tell you this, I know she's there in white, but I bet there's some pink somewhere. She does some things for charity, and this is a variety of things from meals for down and outs at Christmas, which I know she does with Deborah, and later on, of course, there was quite a lot of pro bono stuff. Since then, she's gone on to a successful career as a barrister. She loves the work, so she tells me, and she thinks it's great. And somehow or other, she seems to survive the 6 o'clock in the morning train and the 9 o'clock train at night and all the working at home at all hours to do things. So I know that Matt's going to have a tough time because she's not going to be there making the food for him. So there's no doubt that Matt is a guy to be reckoned with. And it's obvious he's a complete... a complete romantic softie. On the other hand, I think Caroline was really lucky to snaffle him. He's a good guy, sensible, thoughtful, and fully in control in their relationship. And, however, I know that Caroline is a lovely person, and I'm sure that with Matt's patience and persistence, they will continue to be very happy together. And all I have to say now is I'm going to propose a toast to the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Sharp, Caroline and Matt.
Firstly, thank you to my new in-laws for welcoming me into the family, as sincerely as you have, and thank you for raising a beautiful, intelligent, yet sometimes stubby and... Stubby? Stubborn and bossy daughter. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Deborah, thank you for making me feel welcome from day one. The first time I met Deborah, we had dinner together while Caroline was in Mongolia. I must admit that I found the idea of meeting my girlfriend's mum for the first time utterly terrifying. However, Deborah was fantastic, settled my nerves straight away, and was a complete joy. Christopher, thank you for giving me Caroline's hand in marriage. He's over there. I've just lost him. And not grilling me too hard when I asked. With the question, what are your prospects? I don't think the response you were looking for was not as good as your daughter's. It's true though, it's true. But I can promise you that I will do everything I can to make her happy and be a good husband. Although, as you well know and have just said, I need a lot more guidance in the ways of DIY. Thanks again to both of you, and I hope I can be everything you want from a son-in-law and more. But Mum and Dad, thank you for all the advice you have given me and for putting up with me and putting me in the right direction. I've lost my mum. Where's my mum? Hi, Mum. Thanks, Dad. Over the years, my brother and I must have tested your patience in ways too hard to imagine. Granted, that was mainly Duncan. Whether it was nearly burning ourselves to a crisp with an experiment with a can of petrol and a box of matches on Christmas Eve, no less. Thank you, Dad. Patience. Or the various indoor sporting events that resulted in many a broken window and violent argument. Corridor cricket being especially volatile. I really couldn't have asked for a better Mum and Dad. Thank you both for everything that you've done. I love you dearly. So please join me in raising a glass to both sets of parents. To the parents. Thank you. Right, the one person in this room to which I owe the most thanks is Caroline, my beautiful wife. She almost single-handedly organised today, and I think we can all agree she looks absolutely stunning. I've had the privilege of watching her progress into her career in law and helped along the way. With my great knowledge of American TV law, I have tested her at every turn. Although she recently pointed out that no one says objection in this country. Seriously though, Caroline has made me so happy over the last 6 years, and I'm overjoyed to be married to such a beautiful woman who has my utmost respect. So please do me the great honour in toasting my brand new wife to Caroline. That definitely gets a bell. Thank you, Duncan. The first bell that I wanted. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to thank the bridesmaids and the ushers and everyone who helped make this day possible. We couldn't have done it without you, so once again, thank you very much. You really were stars today, and there was the odd moment, but you know, we got through it, so thank you ever so much. So once again, please join me for the final toast to the wedding party.
Genuinely, Matt is a really great friend. Matt's attitude and company has always lifted me. He's the most positive, glass half full, funniest guy I know, as well as being the most down-to-earth person, until he starts speaking about himself. Which, of course, brings me on to the wonderful, lovely, beautiful Caroline. Caroline, before I go into the story of how you two met, 'cause I don't think anyone's heard it yet, just let me say how amazing you look. You've done the best job ever organising today. It's been so awesome, and I hope I haven't ruined it just yet. Matt, well done for picking some music. Must have been pretty tough. However, Matt had learned that Caroline was going to China in a week to start her travelling adventures on the Trans-Siberian Express. When it was time for Caroline to head off, Matt walked her to the station, numbers were exchanged along with the idea for meeting for a drink before they set off for China. Sorry, not him. We didn't know that at that point. So, texts were then exchanged and a drink was arranged. I should caveat at this point that Caroline was very busy preparing for her travelling, not to mention law school in September. So, with a million things to organise, Caroline had to call Matt to cancel the drink. During that fateful... Yeah. So, during that fateful call, she jokingly said to Matt, "Oh, I have a free week at the start of my trip in Beijing if you want to come." To which Matt jokingly responded that he'd love to, but he had work. So that was the end of that, or at least that is what Caroline thought. I said that Matt replied jokingly to Caroline, as this is what I've been told, but I think that his confidence levels were so blindingly high that even at this stage, he might have actually thought that Caroline was being serious and inviting him along with her on a trip. Especially seeing what happened next, which was a drunken voicemail on Caroline's phone the next day saying he was coming to Beijing for a week. So obviously Matt's plan had worked, as Caroline felt she had to meet him again before they spent a week together in China. The pre-China drinks turned into dinner, and then kissing, and then during their time together in China, love blossomed. Matt was actually very romantic in what he did next as well, which was then to meet Caroline at the end of her trip in Poland. So 2 weeks in Poland together, and then fast forward to today, a happily married couple on a beautiful day with two wonderful families joining paths. So. And this is what I love about Matt. He follows his gut. He may be an idiot sometimes, but I can guarantee you that he is a man of morals and a man who knows how to stick to his guns even when he's wrong. In other words, his gut and his heart is always in the right place, and he will not be swayed. There may be bumpy times to go with the smooth times, and so I wish you happiness, peace, strength, and love for all the years ahead. And I believe someone once famously said, the only true gift is a portion of yourself. So please all join me in raising your glasses to Matt and Caroline. And now I get to do this.